Welcome everybody. This is the Orange Squad. Today we're going to be showing you our app Tiger Talk, and it helps you improve communications within just overall the team, and we're going to show you how it works today.
Does your football team currently look like this? Start.
Very inconsistent. Oh my goodness, that did not work. Jordan Jones tackled by Rakeem Boyd. Yeah, Boyd's wrong here. He's either got to go behind the quarterback or he's got to be a lead blocker on that. But a lot of miscommunication there, and that one doesn't feel good and it's embarrassing.
Or does your football team look like this? Action.
3rd and 1. Brad. Hill gives the Cannons their first lead with 43 seconds to go.
Go.
And LSU brings pressure. The
So y'all might have to.
As you can see in the film, the main reason for the overall messed up plays is a lack of communication among the teammates and coaches. For all small groups hoping to achieve common goal, good communication must involve clearly defined and embrace roles, cohesion, and be able to reduce conflict among group members.
Of the group task roles, we will be focusing on 3 of them: the coordinator, the clarifier, and the implementer. The coordinator's job is to keep the group focused on its goals, plans, and conducts meetings and assigns tasks. The coordinator in this situation would be the head coach, and it would also be the coaches. The clarifier's job is to minimize confusion and provide members with a clearer understanding of the group's discussions and its goals. Again, an example of this would be the coaches. And the implementer's job is to it transforms the group's ideas into actions, and this would be the players, since they're the ones actually implementing the schemes that the coaches have. When it comes to conflict, you want successful football teams to have constructive conflict rather than destructive conflict. Constructive conflict involves an approach to disagreement in which group members express differences in ways that value everyone's contributions and promote the group's goals. While on the other hand, destructive conflict involves disagreement that is expressed through behaviors that create hostility and prevent the group from achieving its goals. Examples of constructive conflict would be players that are of the same position pushing each other and trying to make each other better football players rather than going against each other and making each other worse. Another example of constructive conflict would be say a defense after a big play. They come together and discuss amongst each other what went wrong and trying to fix what happened rather than to point fingers as to who did what wrong. Go.
As you can see, when coming to group cohesions, there's multiple, coming from social to emotional to structural. There's more than that. But the 2 best from the football team standpoint would be task and structural. Task cohesion would be more when group members are committed to a common goal. Structural will be when group members embrace clear norms and a well-defined role. Examples of task cohesion would be when the common goal is just overall scoring points and winning games. Structural cohesion is whenever you don't often see tight ends calling plays or throwing the ball. So it's just everyone coming together, just cohesion.
3.
And what we find to be our best version of communication is our app, Tiger Talk. When you come into the main menu, you are able to choose from offense, defense, special teams, coaches, and even the trainers to make sure that everybody is able to communicate with everybody. When coming to the offensive page, you're able to choose from your quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and the O-line. You're able to choose from just one position to all four to everyone. You can go from quarterbacks to O-line or quarterbacks to wide receivers to make sure they're all being able to hear the calls and communication, or just the offensive line whenever you just need to hear a correct protection whenever going along a play. So here's the offensive page.
As you can see here, we have the defensive page with the position groups of the defensive backs, the linebackers, the defensive line, as well as any other position group. The good thing about having the offensive page and the defensive page is that the person using the application can pick specifically who it is that he wants to talk to. And as you can see here, we also have the special teams page, which is set up just like the offensive page and the defensive page. The way you use the app is, say if the coach, for example, wanted to communicate with the punter and just the punter, you would click on the punter tab, and this would ensure that the punter is the one and only player that hears exactly what the coach is talking.
The difference between this page is that the user would first have the option to choose between offensive and defensive coaches. If the user wanted to speak only to the offensive coaches, he would have the same options between the overall position coach as the overall position coach for the players of that position. And the same goes as for the defense. The user could choose to talk to all the coaches or just whatever specific position he would want to. So say, an instance, if he wanted to know what the running back was thinking on a certain play, he would contact the running back's coach, and that's it. And on the defensive side, if he wanted just to know what the overall protection or coverage was, he would go to the safety or he would go to the corners group. So, and overall, just you can choose. The difference between this page is that the user would first have the option to choose between offensive and defensive coaches. If the user wanted to speak only to the offensive coaches, he would have the same options between the overall position coach as the overall position coach for the players of that position. And the same goes as for the defense. The user could choose to talk to all the coaches or just whatever specific position he would want to. So say, an instance, if he wanted to know what the running back was thinking on a certain play, he would contact the running back's coach, and that's it. And on the defensive side, if he wanted just to know what the overall protection or coverage was, he would go to the safety or he would go to the corners group. So, and overall, just you can. This is our last section of the overall app, and it can be customized to any coach's needs. But the best thing about this part of the app is being able to communicate with the trainers to where you can communicate and know if the player of your position is able to compete and play anymore, so you can make in-game adjustments knowing the overall situation, to where if you can have to go with someone else and make the decision or make the change, or you're going to keep on communicating and you're going to figure out overall what the overall health and the circumstances of your position player is in.
Without Tiger Talk, some of the problems your team can face can be misunderstanding or ineffective use of time when it comes to play calling, misalignments, play errors, missed assignments, more turnovers, less possession time, fewer points scored, more points allowed, and fewer wins, which would make your football team look like this.
Yeah, Boyd's wrong here. He's either got to go behind the quarterback or he's going to be a lead blocker.
Now with Tiger Talk, some of the benefits that your team will have from using this app will be higher efficiency with play calling, fewer misalignments, fewer play errors and missed assignments, fewer turnovers, more possession times, which leads to more opportunities to score the ball, more points scored, fewer points allowed, and more wins. Using Tiger Talk will have your football team looking like this.
Outside, the perfect call against this defense, and downfield blocks from the two guards spring the running back for an easy touchdown for LSU.
As the commentator said in the video, the cause of this play was great play calling from the offensive coordinator, and this would be made more possible using the Tiger Talk app.
In conclusion, our app Tiger Talk would bring better success to your team by the improving of communication within college football teams by decreasing destructive conflict, increasing constructive conflict and cohesion, and better allowing offense and defensive coordinators, coaches, and players to embrace their assigned roles.